Hello again, welcome back to my channel. I was going to release a completely different video. But a couple days ago I got a dream. It got me to thinking about a video that I had released a little over a year ago, trying to work out a solution to Christmas and all of the negative connotations that go with it. And as a culture, it's developed a bit of a stigmatism. People tend to feel isolated and depressed, alone. It's really sad. Some part of us as a culture, as a collective memory, echoes a remembrance of this season and what it's supposed to be about coming together, about releasing drama, resolving conflicts, understanding celebrations, endings, celebrations of new beginnings, about giving thanks for the new year, for the end of a period of growth, a community, gratitude for the connections that you have, for the support they give you, the inspiration, for the love. Our society tends to program us with responses. Yes, you give gifts, a little card, but it becomes an automated response as expected. It loses the personal touch, the intimacy. So my original hypothesis was that we should make our own presents and stuff, and that it would add a personal touch to it. But where I was wrong was that was a judgment on my part. I personally like handmade gifts, and therefore, in my mind, was invalidated to purchase gifts. I mean, let's be real. We're not going back to the old way. The holiday has grown, it's evolved, but that doesn't mean that we can't change it. Yeah, we can't steer it in a new direction. I mean, we're not slaves to the culture. We create the culture. We decide by our actions and by our choices how the future is going to unfold. So, back to Christmas while I'm rambling. It's not the gifts, because let's face it, a lot of people can't make gifts. I mean, some people, that's what money's for, right? That's what you work for. So how do we move out of where we're at, which is not the most healthy of mind states as far as the holiday season goes? Competitiveness, aggressiveness, stress, high anxiety, weight of expectations, things of this nature. How can you do one thing that can change the whole nature of the holiday? Simple thing, but complex in its own way. It's not the language of love that you use. It's not the gifts. It's not what you say. It's what you don't say. It's what's not said. Too often, yes, we come and we can put down our dramas for a bit and then compete with our families and wear our mask and stuff, and never really push and push on our boundaries of these connections and reinforce them this way. You know, it becomes just another thing to do. We got to show up. We got to do this. We got to do that. I get that. That's life now. But I have an idea that if taken sincerely, can have the most profound effect, transformative effects on not only your life, but on the lives of the people that you hold in your heart, people that are most dear to you, the ones you value, the ones you rely on. You know, most people have a difficult time speaking, and I know from personal experience it's easier to write my thoughts down than it is to speak them. But with that in mind, you can use that. So here's what I propose. I propose that at the end of the year, once a year, you write a letter. A handwritten letter now. One that is personal and unique. Because let's face it, every one of us is completely unique. Not only are we unique personalities in this life, but we have a unique array of past life experiences that all affect us in different ways. That being said, if you have two unique individuals, any connection between them is going to be completely unique as well. So every letter would be unique, tailored in the language of that connection, whether it's camaraderie, you know, respect, love, but openly, honestly. I know this is kind of crazy, but I mean, you could even just say the things that you never said in the phone calls you didn't make. Do it once a year. If you can't do it once a year, then why are they in your life? I mean, these things could become a grossly therapeutic for not just you, but I mean, everyone you're connected to. Let me illustrate. If you're writing a letter to a child, you tell that child how much you love them, how much that they've changed your life. Even if they can't read it now, you save it for them. And you say, how much joy the sound of their laughter brings you. And on the hard days, hearing it dispels all of your concerns and worries. That coming home to them is the highlight of it. That you didn't believe in magic until you looked in their eyes. When they're a little older, in their teenage years, when they think that no one understands, and no one can get it, introduce them to the person that you were at that age. Tell them your stories. Show them that even though the world has changed, excuse me, even though the world has changed, people are the same. That you understand. That you are amazed at their growth and how they're handling it in a world where they have to deal with so much more than we did. Let them know that you may not understand all the time, but that you trust them, and that you trust who they are, who their soul is. When it comes to adults, I should say, the letters get a bit easier, but also a bit more difficult. Because now you have to be more vulnerable. Take the mask off. Take the robe of your role that you play all you long. Put it down and write a letter to a friend, to an old friend that you've traveled lifetimes with. Tell them how much their support has been appreciated. Tell them that even if you weren't around, you felt their pain. You walked with them when they were in loss. And you celebrated with them when they were in joy. That even if you don't talk all the times, they're appreciated, man. You're not alone, man. Too often we get busy. Too often we get distracted. And we can make a new tradition. If you don't have anyone, if it's just you, I get that. I get that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Write that letter to whoever you hold in your heart, whether they're living, dead, around, not. If it's someone you don't want to talk to, but they're still heavy in your heart, you write that letter. Even if you never give it to them. The act of writing it will heal you. Burn it, keep it, collect them. Look back on them over the years and see how much you've grown. See how much you've changed. The person that writes each letter at the end of each year is a different person. You've changed, you've grown. Your perspectives have shifted. And this can be a running time capsule of how much you've grown, of the connections that you value. Man, you don't know how freeing it is to just put it out there, be vulnerable, you know, be encouraging. Let them know you hear them, you see them, that you appreciate them. If it's the last letter you ever write them, write that letter every year, just in case. Even if you never send them, even if it's to children that don't talk to you anymore, or to relatives that don't associate with you. Write them for you, for your own health. Keep them, will them to them, burn them, make a journal. It'll help work through things. And when it makes an impact in another person, it'll be profound. They'll do it to theirs. And we can turn the way people view this season to a time of release of what's, holding us back. A time of coming together and overcoming and understanding each other. Because if you tell somebody who you are and you tell them your stories and you're open with them, make a pen pal out of them once a year, dude. They'll start to understand you. You'll start to understand them. And once you understand something, you can't help but love it. You can't help it. The problem with our society is we're all disconnected. There's a lot of things we don't say, a lot of things that we keep hidden because we think nobody will understand. That's not true. We all go through the same things. They just manifest in different forms. It's one simple thing. One act of compassion, vulnerability, courage. And it can shatter so many misconceptions, so many miscommunications. And even if it's not received well on the other end, it doesn't matter. It was for you anyways. It's a gift that gives healing to you and to the people that you're giving it to. Put that letter in there with the gift. And they'll have something to look forward to. We'll see just which one they hold on to the longest. The letter or the presents. It's all about love, man. And about being yourself. There's freedom in being yourself and being authentic with someone. Tell them the things you always wanted to tell them. Tell them that you were proud to walk with them. That you've seen them grow, and you've seen them expand, and you've seen them stumble, and you've seen them fall, and you're so proud of them. People just need to be reminded that they're not alone. Because they're not. You're connected. You're entangled. Reach out and touch them. Tell them. Reinforce the connections. The truth will do that, man. If not, you probably didn't need it. And healing will come then too. And so it's a win-win. I know it's a bit abstract, but if you could do one thing once a year that would help to heal you and your family or anyone else that you love, to reinforce good relationships, to repair and meet in a middle ground with conflicting ideologies, with conflicting insecurities, fears, pain, trauma. If it's somebody you never want to talk to again, write that letter. Tell them what you want to say, and then burn it. Get it out. It's like, what's that? It's like Harry Potter on the Pensieve, where they pull the memory right out and put it in the things. Same thing. Put it on paper. Get it out of your head. It's healing. And opening up lines of communication with you and your loved ones should not be anything to be afraid of. Now, these letters can obviously take on an array of different forms. Humor. Each one is unique. It's tailored to speak with whoever you're connecting with. One letter a year. Keep them, put them in a journal. Watch your own growth if you need to. Watch how much your mind has changed over a year. Congratulate yourself on the things you've overcome. Even if you got nobody else to write a letter to, man, you can write your letter to yourself. Why not? We gotta stop being afraid to do things differently. The way things have always been doesn't have to be the way things always have to be. I'm not saying you have to tear everything down, but I'm saying that you can alter the things in our culture that would give more meaning, more depth to things. We approach it from a place of understanding, love, acceptance, encouragement, compassion. That's what this was about. The dream sent me back to the old video, and I can look at it and I can see how much I've changed in a year. And so I know that if we start making a record, if for no other reason, you'll see. If you give them to other people, it'll have a profound impact on their lives and yours. No questions asked. One way or another, you'll feel better. They'll feel better. And if not, it didn't need to sit under the surface and stew. There's freedom to it. Once you feel it, you're not gonna wanna keep that kind of stuff to yourself. You're just gonna wanna be authentic, be yourself. It's we can change how we view the holidays, man. It's just like alchemy on an individual basis. How do you alchemize? How do you transmute emotional trauma? You look at it from a different perspective. You shift your standing on it. See it from outside of yourself. Instead of seeing something as a hindrance, see it as a resistance, an obstacle for enhanced growth. You change the way you look at it. It's the same thing with our cultural stigmas. Oh no, there's the Christmas lights again. Now I'm depressed, and suicide rate goes up and all this. We can change this. I know it might not seem like it, but writing one letter to people that you care about once a year will begin to change how this time of year is viewed. We could shift it into a place where the resolution of conflict, understanding, acceptance and love, man. I'll tell you what, that's what this holiday's about. It don't matter how you tell that love. But just because you speak one love language doesn't mean someone else can understand it, even if you're in the same family. Writing a letter would bypass those miscommunications. It would give somebody an unfiltered opportunity to be themselves with you, and you with them, even if it's just once a year. I see a better world. It can be made. It's already being made. So, I guess I rambled on long enough. That's my video for today.